is our home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11 nations of people, we are known as First Republic, the Lone Star shining evermore. The flag of Liberia is flying all the time. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation, Liberia. If my people who are over money, we humble themselves and seek my face, I will rise and heal their nation. Liberia will rise again. Nations will come to your rising. I prophesy. Kingdom will come to your light. Together, let's keep your peace. Cause in unity we will build our nation. Arise, Liberia, arise. Arise and take your place. Whatever the workers are meeting, arise and take your place. The flag of Liberia is flying on. It's flying all the time. Showing allegiance, showing loyalty to this nation. Liberia, in union, success is sure. It's flying all the time. Showing loyalty to this nation. Liberia, in union, success is sure. In unity we will build our nation. In unity, Liberia, we prophesy long life. We prophesy prosperity. We prophesy peace in this nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, let's say pleasant welcome. This is another presentation of Sports Talk on Intel Sports. It comes away Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 straight up to 8:30. It's a 90-minute program. It's intended to promote unity and development in sports in our country. We all know that sports play a major part when it comes to developing our country, uniting our country, and healing the ones are left behind. So today, we're going to have a very interesting conversation at long last with a founder that got the Minister of Sports. By the way, he is the newly appointed minister by the President, His Excellency Joseph Yoman Boaka. And he will be our guest. Our guest will be no other but Councillor Cole Gerald Bangalu. We're going to talk all things sports. We'll talk the future of Liberia sports under this leadership of President Boaka. We're also going to discuss the National County Sports Meet. Obviously, there was a conference held 48 hours ago at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We'll hear in detail from the Sports Minister, Councillor Bangalu. And we'll also talk about the prospects, of the developing grassroots kids into the various disciplines we have in sports in our country, including what does the government intend to do with lots of female that are into athletics and so forth. So my name is Ben Garbat, as always. I'm here with a colleague. I wasn't in the program yesterday, but it was a fantastic one between Trojan and my today co-host, Chris Walker. Let me say, Walker, welcome.
It's a pleasure always to be on Sports Talk, discussing all things sports. And it was a fascinating presentation legend Anthony Lamb for a diva of sports reporting in Liberia, Martina Bose. We had a under 20 coach from Martha Dane and also Arnold Kennedy, who has been doing some great things in Liberian football, taking our kids from here to the United States to play football. And I think that presentation was great. But today we are here a day after Liberia was held to a goalless draw by Djibouti at the Samarkand Sports Complex in Painesville. And we hope to talk about that also. Like you said, the Minister of Youth and Sports, he said appointed. He is the minister now.
Yeah.
He is not appointed. He has been confirmed and he started work. So we hope to talk to him about sports. 6 years he has, or probably almost 6 years if he will stay as the Minister of Youth and Sports, that are there for sports in Liberia, because the sporting sector is an area that provides job opportunities for many young people and Liberians in general. It's also helped to develop the country, because if Ben Garba, as a footballer and a medium, he will invest into this country. He will build houses and whatsoever, and probably open businesses. And Liberians will work from them. So, but all that starts with the Ministry of Youth and Sports and other things we need to discuss. And I think today's discussion promises to be fascinating, as always. Having the Minister of Youth and Sports on this presentation, it tells you that we are gradually climbing the ladder. And this is the premier discussion for sports in Liberia.
The thoughts of Chris Walcott, introductory thoughts, I must mention, of Chris Walcott. So before we do all that, as always, we discuss trending issues, okay, on this platform. He's already set the stage. So we're probably going to look back at what happened on yesterday night.
Sure.
You know, Liberia at the SKD. It was an unattended sports complex. We know that the new venue takes just under 22,000, okay, or just under 23,000. But yesterday, at some level, the president has to declare free gate around the field before we have some numbers. But the number wasn't impressive. For some Liberians, the school land wasn't impressive as well. Not only the school land, but probably the way in which, you know, the national team play. But I can so much more understand, maybe not you, because you have a new coach who comes in charge, promotes lots of local players into the first team, whom have not had a chance to wear the national colors. The weight of the expectation is very hard. The coach wants to keep his job, so he doesn't want to go fancy. He wants to be more direct, you know, and at the end of the day, he wants to get over the line. My thoughts could be, he should not be judged by those two matches. If you want to judge him, probably you can say he reached the last, you know, stage of the competition in the qualifying round. Probably that's how you could judge him. So he's done a fantastic job. But we have to see him play a couple of the games before we have him judged. That will form the fulcrum of the training discussion here. But first, though, let me have you informed. He will not be a happy man.
I'm a happy man. Invisible 11 secure. I'm a happy man. Invisible 11 secure a very great way. My late dad was an Invisible 11 diehard fan. My mother is an Invisible 11 fan, but I'm the only one Barrow fan. But now we are into a professional sector.
Yeah, but you offer professional services for Global Farmer.
It's not that I'm offering professional service for Global Farmer. I have to make this clear. Global Farmer is situated in my birthplace where I grew up, and there will always be this love for people you grew up with. So I offer professional service because of the love for my birthplace. Like I usually say, you don't sit and allow your suit part to waste. You see a wasting and you see crappy. You have to protect it. So at times we do help our communities, because what we are doing now is to help Liberia sports get better. So if you are from Clariton and there's the team from Clariton, you want to help and take their social media to a certain level. But I think today was a very interesting game from the Invisible 11. I think they played the house out. The first 10 minutes into the game, they got the opener, and Global Farmer, after two great results, three results, I can say. FC Cologne won. FC Cologne drew with Madi Barrow in the first leg of the Orange Cup. Then they won Madi Barrow away, 4-2 with a man down. Travel all the way to Sunny Quiddy and secure a last minute of time win against Nima Quado. Everyone expected Global Farmer to pull the needed result, which is a victory or at least a draw. But you can understand, after playing these matches a row, the players are human also. You expect they will at some point in time have fatigue. But I think IE went very prepared for that game. And probably Mario Marinica knowledge is making impact on IE, because the deputy coach of the national team is the head coach of Invisible 11. I think Kevin Sewe is doing a fantastic job. The last goal, because I watched the game from start to finish, considered by Global Farmer, it was actually a goalkeeper error. And these things happen. Paul Robinson on the international scene.
Paul Robinson is I'm sorry to say, but he wasn't a great goalkeeper.
No, but they made some mistakes. The legs of David De Gea, Andrew Onana, goalkeepers make mistakes. So that was one caused Global Farmer to lose the game. But I think the second leg over the weekend on Sunday promises to be very interesting, and that where you think the real battle will be in the Borough of New Crew Town.
So there you have it. Is the communication officer, social handler of Global Farmer page there, reflecting on the 2-1 defeat on today against Invisible 11 IE. By the way, Invisible 11 IE are the oldest club in the history of Liberian football. They're currently struggling into the relegation area. I think they are 2 points away from safety or so, with 4-5 matches to end the league, 3 matches to end the league season. So yeah, they are in a peculiar position, but still though, they are doing very well in the cup competition, and they have 1 foot in the final because there's a 2 legs. So the first half of the semi-final is finished, and I must say that IE were playing home at Tucson Field, and they won Global Farmer by 2-1. The return leg is on Sunday, as you heard that from Christopher Walker. It will be in the Borough of New Crew Town. Trust me, I will be there. I know how that venue can pull crowd. I know what sort of belief the people in that area of New Crew Town and its surroundings, like Island Clinic and Nyanfortan, places like Thompson, Carwell, places Broadview and so forth. Loking Town. I mean, that's very populated communities over there, and I know what the people would do. And in that return leg, it will be bigly fantastic, and I can miss a minute of that one. And the other semi-final in the Orange Cup is on tomorrow at the SKT practice pitch. It's going to be contested between Global Farmer. Pinsville, and I intend to say Jubilee. Jubilee is the least ranked side left in the competition. They are into the last 4 after the edge on Federal Second Division side Discoveries. Okay, so Jubilee is the least ranked side left in the competition. Not going too well for them in the second division, but pretty much safe. You can guarantee that they'll play next year club football in that division. But they want to have an ambition of playing in Africa, in the African CAF Confederations Cup, if you like. So they have the big semi-final against another first division opposition in Pinsville FC, who share that ground with them. So it's a Pinsville derby, if you like. They will play the both legs on the same ground. So tomorrow, Jubilee play at home. Few days after, they come back on the same ground. Pinsville will be the home team. It's a real opportunity for Pinsville, leaving the third division a couple of years back in 2022, coming second division, winning and reaching the Orange Cup final. That would be so magnificent if they ever did.
I think that is why Painesville officials and fans have invested into the team to see them into CAF competition, because they have invested. No one thought they could be challenging for the league title in the first year into the first division, and now they are into the finals of the Orange Cup. But I can say Jubilee is not a side you can overlook. There might be the BYC, like BYC 2 did in the second division in the Confederation Cup, in the FA Cup at the time. Probably Jubilee may be that surprise package, but what they have done in this tournament, I think Painesville, with all of the experienced players they have, they will not take Jubilee for granted. Edward Leno, we want to go back to club football in Continental since leaving Les Skyfs. He hasn't having a taste of club football in international competition. Eugene Swain, the leg of Matt P. I think they are hungry more. They may be considered a favorite going into the tie, but 90 minutes will speak who will be the favorite in that tie. But I think it will be a very interesting tie. Jubilee have gained confidence, putting out a side like Freeport FC, Discovery, who everyone thought who have been into the semi-finals because of the fantastic football, excellent football they have played in this league. But I think the game with Painesville and Discovery to watch.
That's
Painesville and Jubilee is one to watch.
So, as my colleagues say, there are 16 places that separate Painesville FC from Jubilee in the National League table, if you consider both first and second division league table combined. Okay, so as it stands, Painesville are in third, and on the other end, Jubilee, I think I just saw just a while ago, they should be seventh in the league table. So if you look at that, there are 16 places that separate in the division. But it doesn't matter. Painesville are the favorite team currently as we speak to win the Orange Cup, while Jubilee are the least ranked team. But we have a semi-final on tomorrow. Kickoff time at the SKT practice pitch is at 4 p.m. And then in the other semi-final, women category, I must mention we have Shakhtar Angels up against Soccer Ambassador. It's an all-women upward affair situation, but I must mention that Shakhtar Angels are favorites, especially after the edge of the back-to-back winners, Determined Girls, over the past years. Okay, been very strong. So having edge of Determined Girls by go to the Shakhtar Angels, obviously, they are the favorites left in the semi-final. So they take on Soccer Ambassador. That game will be played at the George Weah Technical Center,
which is their home.
Yeah, their home ground at 4 p.m., the first leg. And then the second leg is over the weekend as well. And then in the second semi-final, we'll have Antonin Todd Stadium coming into use when Raviat Angels take on Lower Leaguesa War Girls. By the way, they have Famata Dean as their coach.
She has been doing an excellent job with the club since taking over. I think they are yet to receive defeat in league and into the semi-finals, putting out the next of senior pools, some top clubs within the upper league. I think that's a good job from the former national team captain Famata Dean and defender taking over War Girls, because they have always been this, if you want to coach the national team, practice in the league. Like the incident or the situation with James Diba. James Diba wants to coach the national team. People are saying, why don't you practice in the league? But he said he's technical director for IE, technical director. But she thought it wise to say, let me go into the league and prove what I have. And I think she's making sense of coaching the league. There are not many female coaches in the league, even into the women league. You do not have
Yes, I
many
agree.
female coaches. And I think we should applaud her for that. That is an encouragement for female coming up. And selecting her as one of the CAF instructor or LFA coach instructor, I think she's actually showing that with her girls. And I can see them going into the final to play Shakhtar.
Wow, Chris Walker has already named his top two, his finalists this year, 2024 Orange Cup. He's predicting World Girls of the lower league have already won promotion to the top tier of the women's upper league to take on Shakhtar Angels, who've knocked out the defending champions and, let's say, double champions determined girls. So if it ends up being the final, is Fermat Adin up against Wayne Maroon or Maroon Wayne?
Yeah, Maroon Wayne.
It's still a fantastic game. Two great managers, if you like, coming against each other. So we hope to see how it pans out, but those are the pairings for the Stars on tomorrow. So
And tomorrow we have an outstanding game, a very big one. Watanga versus B Mountain.
that's a big game and great opportunity. Watanga have got some of the players coming back from international duty. I was just about to reflect on that Painsville game. I think in that cup semi-final, Painsville have got the opportunity to call back Edward Lennon back, Manuel Dinier. So it's going to be a full strength Painsville side. So how would you be the which Lone Star will have another game just at this time, or they will push the Liberia Djibouti game to other Wednesday or Thursday? So this guy doing international duty, But however, just for the fun, I think Jubilee will relish the challenge. It's going to be a game. We have 2 games on here.
They have a coach who has been suspended for 14 months. I think 14 or 12 or 14 months. Sami Camara, the Italian coach.
Giovanni Trapattoni, he calls himself.
He won the district league, and since taking it over, even though he do not have the qualification to stand on the line, but just coaching from the outside, I think he has had a direct impact on the team, physically, mentally. I think he is bringing something new to Liberian football, and that's Jubilee team. I can say they should not be overlooked or underestimated because they are going to that game very much prepared. And Painsville also are prepared because they haven't been to the cup final before. They will want to win, and trust me, it will be very interesting.
Okay, so very interesting. Those are the trending discussion we have for you. We will take this very short break. When we come back, we're going straight to bring on the Minister of Youth and Sports, Councillor Cole Gerald Bangali is our guest on today. We're going to talk all things sports and many, many topics, including prospects for sports in Liberia, the new national team headed by Mario Marinica, and also the National County Sports Meets that unites everyone. This break. So welcome back, and let's now see whether we can get the minister. If the minister is paying attention and has the link, we can go to him. Not a sort of background. I really wonder, did you see his background?
I think it's terrible.
I need a sufficient light in there. But anyway, you can still picture who is on the screen as Jericho. Minister, let's say pleasant welcome to the Sports Talk.
Yeah, thank you. I'm in my car, and so so sorry for the background. But thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Let's start first, though, with the plans that this government have got for sports. You've just been appointed and confirmed minister. It hasn't been even 2 months or so. You're in the hot seat of the federal sports. What's the conversation in the background with the sporting territory if you like the chief patron of sports?
There's no conversation in the background. Everything the chief patron wants done, he has said openly. He is very clear that sports must improve. He's clear that Liberia has talents. He's aware, and they've made a lot of strides locally and internationally, and that the support that must be given, we must all ensure that it is provided. As a government, he has reassured athletes and sports enthusiasts that the government will do everything possible to ensure that the sporting federations, especially the flag bearers, are given the kind of support. What he has always emphasized is transparency and accountability. And it's not just about the financial, but in terms of how managers will relate and will manage their respective federations. He has also assured that with proper planning, a lot more can be achieved. He doesn't want to be jammed. Abruptly, you come and say, for example, the Wrestling Federation is having a match next week, and you want the government to provide the support. He wants each federation to furnish us, and is in line with our desire, our vision, with their calendar of activities for proper planning. We know as a government, due to competing priorities, it would be impossible to do 100% in terms of support to these sporting bodies, but the chief patron has assured that whatever we can do from our end to provide a kind of support will be done. In demonstrating his true commitment, he also has invited the idea of having outside support and sponsorship for our national team. And so he has approved the setting up of a special presidential fundraising and mobilization committee. And this committee is for the national teams, not just football, but the national teams. And this committee is headed by the veteran sports administrator, Mr. Toman Floyd, and it's a 32-member committee. It has human beings on it, and it has institutions on it. And so the list has been published. Corporate social responsibility is being encouraged, and I know for sure that the committee headed by Mr. Floyd is going to convene shortly so as to jumpstart this whole resource mobilization thing, come out of their strategy, and they've received the total support and blessings of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia. And so our plans for sport, say that?
No, sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Our plan for sport is that every sporting federation or body will be given maximum support so that their maximum potential can be realized. Over the past few weeks, we have had a lot of successes with our athletes. We would like to commend Maya McCoy, the Liberian 100-meter sprinter, who emerged as the second fastest female athlete in Africa. This is a remarkable achievement. We would like to commend the coach and the Liberian National Olympic Committee for the support given Maya McCoy. We would also like to commend the Liberia Boxing Federation for the support given Grace Family, the Liberian 54 kg boxer who won a bronze medal at the just ended All African Games in Accra, Ghana. Congratulations to Grace Family. And of course, the male 4x100 meters relay team also won a medal, and the female 4x100 meter relay team also won a medal. The Scrabble, the national Scrabble team, emerged as the second placer in Africa, coming second to Uganda in the Scrabble edition at the All Africa Games. These are remarkable achievements that this government would like to water on. Also, we would like to commend the Liberia Association and the newly appointed coach, Coach Mario Marinico, for accomplishing his initial requirement for being a coach of the national team, and that was to ensure that the Lone Star will qualify over Djibouti in the preliminary rounds of the AFCON 2025. So the Lone Star has qualified for the group stage. Lone Star defeated Djibouti 2-0 in the first leg, and yesterday a goalless draw. For the coach, he achieved what he wanted. We witnessed the game. We come to realize that a lot more must be done. But in order for this to happen, we need to be a part of the competition. And to be a part of the competition, we needed to defeat Djibouti in the preliminary round and be a part of the group stage. So when the draw comes up, we know Liberia will be prepared because it's not going to be instantaneous. And before the next rounds of games, a lot more will be put in place. We've gotten the assurance from the coach, and so we know we can qualify for AFCON 2025. There are challenges with the budget, and we continue to plead with the government to see that sports has got a lot to do with youth development. And that's why, we are the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It's the youth that makes sports a reality. And so we would like to encourage a lot of support through budgetary means to ensure that our sporting programs remain active.
Okay, Minister. I'm sorry for punctuating you, but I'm going to take a hold from me. You explained a lot. My colleague and I are following very carefully. But could you share with us some of the key priorities your ministry has set for the upcoming months?
The first thing is the 100-day deliverable. And a key from the deliverable standpoint is the hosting of the national county meet. And so we announced the other day that the national county meet, which is an annual event that was postponed from December, will now be held commencing April 14, 2024. And we have outlined the various groups, and the games will kick off simultaneously. And so the games will be hosted in Montserrado, Margibi, Nimba, and River G. And so that is a priority for the 100 days, and we ensure that the National County Sports Meet is started on April 14 and is successful. Beyond that, we have said we would like to host a national dialogue for sports over the next few weeks. And this dialogue is intended to look at the gaps and look at all that we have missed out on. For example, we think we can qualify for the African Cup. We can qualify for the World Cup. If other countries can do it, we believe we can do it. What are the missing links? We need to talk about it. Prior to the war, Ben, we had just a single football field. There was the ATS, the boy field. But the quality of football and the quality of and the players was appreciable. Today, you have the ATS refurbished with artificial turf. You have the Tusa field refurbished with artificial turf. The technical center at Carisburg. You have the Nancy Doe Stadium in Kakata. You have the Doris William in Buchanan. All of them, the SKD practice pitch. But the level of game in our mind is non-appreciable. So then there is something else besides infrastructure that may be causing this. What is that thing? Ben Gagba, all of you will need to come and sit on the table and let's find what that thing is. Cape Verde, Mauritania, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea, right here, have all improved. Why are we down? We need to talk about it. We need not shy from the reality. Let's bring the experts.
Do you know the reality? You talk about not shying from the reality. You have been into sports. You are the current coach of Afra Old Timer. What do you think as a minister? Is that reality? Is that thing that is affecting football or sports in Liberia in general that we need to improve to get on par with our neighboring counterparts or our counterparts in Africa? We produce the only African to have won the world best without impediment. So now we have these academies. You just alluded to the playing surface. As a coach, now as an administrator, what do you think we need to do to have our game elevated to another level that we can be recognized on the international scene with all of the talents that are in Liberia that you said the president, the chief patron of sports said we have in Liberia?
Chris, you don't want a know-it-all minister. I'm not sure that's what you want. And I would not be presumptuous. I don't know it all. I have some
What do you know?
I have some ideas. I want this thing to be collectively done. They are more experts than me. They are here. Let's bring them. Let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. Let's develop a framework. If it will require us developing a national sports development plan that we can take to the legislature and act it, let's develop it. Perhaps that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to have a national sports development plan. And that it should be a law. Let be added into legislation so that government comes, government go, there's a law. Perhaps what is happening, every time there's a new administration, the ministers come, the administrators come with their own ideas. If we have a national sports development plan that is enacted by law, everyone that comes will have to follow it. So that's why I said, let's sit and talk. You want me to come and pretend to know everything? You think so? Yes, I'm a coach. In fact, the best coach in the Old Diamond League.
About what I'm coach. I have this concern. Sports plays a crucial role in fostering national pride and unity. With that in mind, I'm curious to know what initiatives or programs that the government is considering to promote grassroots sports.
You know, between you and myself, we know that the foundation for everything that must grow is the root. And between you and myself, the Liberia Football Association is the technical arm. They have the programs. They have the strategies. The government is only to provide the support. We trust the leadership of the Liberia Football Association. Over the past few years, they have tried. We've seen a lot of improvement from the level of the grassroots. I believe there is still need for serious support for grassroots football, for women's football in this country. And I think for what I see, watching the leagues, the talents are there. The talents are there. I think recently you've been seeing kids from the grassroots side that have been making their way out of here. You know, Kindness School, Emmanuel C.A. and the rest of the kids.
It's like a photo.
It's a football. It's a football.
It's like a photo.
It's a football, man.
Now we have
So you know, Kindness School, yeah.
Before you become minister, it was for the football.
Even Sir Moses, I'm told Sir Moses just left. So I saw this day, oh Ben, they're good. They're really, really good. And if we can focus, you know, Dior Williams and the rest of the guys actually were from the Gota Cup, that Swedish thing years back. That's where they came from. Yeah, when they play in the Gota Cup and then I mean, or how you call it, Bozak Kringer and all the rest, those kids used to play right opposite Telecom on Broad Street.
Walker Fee. The great Walker Fee.
Walker Fee. We used to stand up there. They used to say, well, these guys ain't got work to do, man. Responsible looking guys, but they come and stand up here all day. But those kids used to entertain us. But they used to play right in the sand, in the gravel there. And they emerged as amongst the best. I'm saying to you, those kids play like that and they went up there and they give. Today, the kids got artificial turf all over the place, BYCB. In fact, the parks have been built. What is it? I'm not sure Liberians were impressed with the game yesterday.
Were you impressed?
Say that?
Were you impressed? You said Liberians, you don't show Liberians were impressed. But what's about you?
The opportunity I got to speak with the technical people, a lot of Liberians don't have it. So in my disappointment, when I speak with the technical people, they say we had a mission to fulfill. That mission was to qualify the team. Did we qualify? I said yes. He said that was our mission. And I think that was the overarching goal. They played 2 games without conceding a goal. They beat away and drew here. Africa qualified for AFCON by drawing with us home and beating us here. So we qualified for the preliminary by drawing here and beating away. So count your blessings and count them one by one. In my mind, the coach fulfilled a fundamental part of his mandate by qualifying the team. Whether the team played it with the ball and they play well and they pass it all around, a different discussion there for another day. For Mario, you asked him to qualify from the preliminary to the group stage, and he fulfilled that.
I'm going to ask you this one about infrastructure. Okay, you talk a lot about stadiums being built or playing pitches across the country. You mentioned the BYC, you mentioned the various playing parks, you mentioned the ATS being artificial turf, you mentioned Tusa Field, the Williams Sports Stadium, SKD track pitch. So knowing that infrastructure is an essential aspect of sports development that provide athletes with top-notch facilities to compete in various competitions. Are there any plans to improve the existing sports infrastructure or build new venues to enable our athletes to reach their full potential by this government under your watch as Minister of Sports?
Look, for football, I can tell you we need to keep rallying on FIFA and the Liberia Football Association because they are the highest investors in infrastructure for football. And someone was saying, but when FIFA is building these stadiums, they don't put an area there for track and field or for volleyball or for basketball, say because FIFA is football. If you want a complex like what we have here or more than what we have at the SKD, it has to be the government. So I am very, very optimistic that the government will do everything possible to begin looking in the direction of improving and having a complex or additional complex that will have facilities for other disciplines. I was speaking with the president of the Wrestling Federation. He said, pathetically, we do not have a wrestling mat. The last mat we had got stolen a few months or so ago. So I said, then how do you practice? He said, we go on the beach in the sand because we cannot do it on a hard surface. And you speak with the Cricket Federation, they tell you the same thing. So the lack of facility, the Taekwondo people are using the rough surface at the SKD outside there. You speak with them, they tell you we don't have facilities. So it would be a good thing to have additional facilities with 34 sporting federations. You know clearly that the SKD complex does not have the capacity for all 34 federations to demonstrate and show their potentials. So yes, the government, we have to look into that. And it's part of the plan we're talking about. Everything must be planned. So let's have this dialogue and proffer something to the government. I know the government has a lot on the youth development and some on the sports as contained in the arrest, but we as stakeholders, there's nothing that prevents us from making a plan and proffering it to government and seeking outside support to ensure that some of these facilities are improved. Some of these federations have very good international bodies that are requiring that they do X, Y, Z to get some financial support. What are the X, Y, and Z? Can we work with them to ensure they accomplish those X, Ys, and Zs so that investment can come here? Can we look outside? Like the president has begun doing, can some of these institutions here assist through corporate social responsibility to build a modern facility just for volleyball, for example, which may not cost anything so ambitious. You can construct a modern volleyball facility, or you do a little mini pitch for the kids that are below 12. I mean, not the same standards as you, just a smaller one. Or you do a basketball gymnasium that is of an international standard, and that you don't have to only rely on what is at the SKD Sports Complex. Let's talk. Let's have a dialogue. So we'll convene this meeting. Let's have something so that it can be a collective thing. It cannot just be the government is forcing something down the throat. How can we come out with something when we really have not understood what these federations want? So the engagement is engagement with the federations to at least guide us in developing, a holistic plan.
Mr. Minister, we have over 20 sporting federations in the country.
What he said.
Yeah, what I'm saying, over 20. Over 20 sporting federations. You, as Minister of Youth and Sports, there are some federations who receive government allocations, but you don't see them into anything. Do you have plans of looking at only those who are representing Liberia International, those who have activities going on, or you just intend to just give them allocation every year and we don't see anything happening when that money you give into Federation X that is not actively involved could be sent to Federation Y, who trying their best, they have activity, an active league. Do you looking in that direction?
I wouldn't like to speak to support to these federations because it is very, very minimal, the support to these federations. But again, you are correct. And part of what we said in our first meeting with the federations was that we would like to be a part of their activities. We need to see what the swimming federation is doing. Why is the swimming pool, the very huge swimming pool that can attract competition? We want to see it. The tennis, I mean, I know I was in Accra and I saw the table tennis crew there. But I know they also have a lawn tennis federation here, and they play at the SKD Sports Complex there. But we want to be a part of the activities. We recently had their induction program, and we were there as a ministry, and we graced the occasion. So we are working with the Department of Sports to ensure that we assess and be a part of the activities to see how their leagues are structured, if any, and be able to assess and grade them. So yes, we're not just going to leave it with they coming. And a basis for getting additional support is that you must report on your activities for the past time that you got a little assistance. And so we agree with you. There's a need for the federations to be very active. But if part of the reasons why they're not active is because they do not have the infrastructure and the support, then we need to do our part. Provide it by working with them and see whether or not they will still remain the same. So it's a two-way stuff. We cannot just load it on them. Simultaneously, we got to work with them to ensure that they have the infrastructure so that they can have the opportunity to play. Because how can the Handball Federation have an international competition here now if you do not have a real, serious, modern handball court? So these are all the things, the gaps and the handicaps that the federations are having. And through the dialogue, we know exactly what is needed and what we all need to do collectively.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important that we have that dialogue. We wish the ministry comes up with the time so early, so stakeholders of all the various sports across Liberia can meet so we can prepare to this. I hope the minister is still there. I have this very serious concern for you. He looks like he's muted his microphone, but I will ask the question whether he's still listening to the platform. In recent years, we've seen increase in public interest, okay, towards women's sports all around the world, okay? And how does this new government plan to support and empower female athletes in our country, in considering the fact that they have the same opportunities as their male counterparts? How is the government planning to do that so that it can ensure that female athletes have the same opportunities as their male counterparts? I hope you got the question.
I get the question, Ben. And let me just say to you, are you there, Ben?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me just say to you, under our administration, there will be total respect for women involvement in sports. There will be total respect, non-discrimination for women in sports. Today, there was a massive program with the UN Women and our local sporting women at the Anthony Tubman Stadium. I was there. I graced the occasion and I saw our women play soccer. Women in sports must be encouraged. This government will encourage women in sports as equally as we are encouraging and supporting men in sports. There'll be non-discrimination. In fact, what we need to do is to encourage women in sports because that's where the marginalization has been over the past years. So as a government, we'll do everything possible. I have told our Department of Sports here at the Ministry of Youth and Sports that not for this county meeting, because this one is spillover from last December. The next one, we're going to plan to ensure that you have women's soccer in the county meet. The counties will produce.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that.
The counties, you can take it from me, the counties will have to produce women team. If we pilot it with the first 8 to 9 or 10 counties, we will do that until we can get there. But we encourage women football. Yes, but we're not going to discourage kickoffs, which is a traditional game, but we encourage women football. And I know there are a lot of women playing soccer across the country. So we do that. When the Basketball Federation gets ready, we will eventually encourage women basketball in the county meet because you have women playing serious basketball in this country. So as a ministry, we will do everything humanly possible to ensure that women are totally involved and they are direct beneficiaries equally of everything the government is doing in terms of support sports.
Okay, Mr. Minister, you're talking about the county meet, but I want to ask this question because I think we are coming to go to this whole issue of the county meet that is starting in April. Your predecessor, Soga Wazin administration said they could only sponsor the senior national team, the under 20 national team, and the senior national team female. With your administration, are you open to all of the national teams, whether football, basketball, and whatsoever?
Football is managed and controlled by the Liberia Football Association. Whatever the plans are that the LFA has for football development, both women and men, this ministry will provide the support in whatever way we can. We will try to do everything possible. We don't want to discriminate. So I know the FA has a robust plan. We do not develop the plan for football. It is the Liberia Football Association that has that plan. we will work with them to ensure. And so everything in terms of the categories of their involvement with the football development that they will need, we will try to provide the support, and we'll work with them to ensure that it is realized.
Okay. I'm sorry for interrupting. It's financial matter.
Mr. Minister, the National Olympic Committee went to the All African Games in Ghana and credited money to go there. 25,000. I would like to know how far the government has they paid this money to the National Olympic Committee, or where are we?
Who gave you that question?
Question?
That's your question. The last time we hosted Michael Joseph. The last time we hosted Michael Joseph and Michael Joseph said this.
All your other question for you. The other question for you. Like a question.
So I say, who gave you that question to ask me?
The last time we hosted Michael Joseph, and Michael Joseph made the revelation that they credited money to go to the All African Games. Have you paid?
I don't know about that credit part. What I do know is the federations of the Olympic Committee or federations would normally request for support through the budgetary means. It will come to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and we'll forward it to the Ministry of Finance for support. So they did that, and it has been forwarded to the Ministry of Finance. I'm sure you've been following this whole thing about the budget. Its passage, it has been hampering a lot, not just, Olympic Committee or sports. Even our own activities at the ministry being very much hampered because of the non-passage of the budget. And these are things that...
Did the ministry support the Olympic team to the All African Games fully?
Hello. I told you how they support. What I inherited. In fact, when the Olympic game came, I had just spent maybe 10 days as a minister. So it was something I inherited. But with all of that, I tried my best, and I went to Ghana with them to spend like 2 nights. And I attended the opening and was part of some of the games. The support, like I said, is through budgetary means. All of these institutions or federations, like the Olympic Committee, they receive budgetary support, no matter how minimum it is. And it is through the Ministry of Finance. So the submission was done, and I'm very sure they will receive what they requested for, because the paperwork was done and forwarded to the Ministry of Finance.
Okay, this countermeasure issue now. April, you announced the hosting of the countermeasure will officially kick off. Like you said, it spilled over to your administration. Why are you in rush to host this countermeasure this year when you could keep everything for December 2024?
You're the first person who's saying we're in rush. Everyone else has said we've been delaying. So I don't know what you mean when you say we're in rush. This thing should have been held in December. There was a pronouncement from the government that it would be postponed after inauguration. The government cannot lie. And the government decided to live up to its own pronouncement to ensure that the 2023, anything other than hosting the county meet, it means 2023 there was no county meet. So you have that gap. You don't want that. So in my mind, I believe the teams already got prepared. They were about to commence when it was brought to a stop for temporary means and reasons best known to the government. That has passed over us. The government has said, host the county meet within the first 100 days. And so the government is fulfilling that. And the counties are ecstatic because we had a meeting with the steering committees and they all want the county meet here. So please, let's allow this. At the same time, we prepare for the December event, the 2024-2025.
Don't you think it's so hectic having a county meet 2024 in April, and in December you planning for another county meet. Budgetary wise, financially, don't you think it will be too tough, won't they say, for the government?
Well, I know that the resource already earmarked. As a matter of fact, checks were already issued before the county meet was brought to an end. They were issued. So all we needed to do was to request the reissuance of those checks. And so it was something that was factored and it was part of the plan. And if you look at the president's 100-day deliverable, it is there. And so it is being finalized and it will be supported. Anything falling short of that, then the president will renege on a key component of his 100-day deliverable. So please,
Okay, Mr.
the
Minister.
guys are energetic. Once the funding is there, the support is there, in the next 8 months, they'll be ready to play again.
Mr. Minister, please just push your phone up a little. We're only getting the upper part. Okay, that's extraordinary. That's nice. So on the issue of that county meet, I know you don't want to have an issue where there's force majeure, because the circumstances that exist may not support force majeure. Okay,
No.
so I support you with respect to that. But I want to talk about fair play and integrity in sports. And this government, for so long, months, years ago, have been craving to come to power under the leadership of Joe Walker. You've got a chance for the next 6 years or so. So I really want to know as to whether this government plans to support, how do you intend, for example, to battle cheating and doping in sports and those other things?
Look, cheating in all aspects and categories must be disallowed and must not be encouraged. And so I support fair play and support every initiative supporting bodies to ensure that no one will have undue advantage over the other in an unfair manner. So yes, I support anti-doping. I mean, you know, Ben, that as a coach and as a match commissioner, we attended a lot of programs that had the World Anti-Doping Agency send representatives to have training sessions with clubs, teams, and our very selves. This is a universal stuff. And so doping control and everything against doping should be something that we all must be involved with. So this ministry supports international bodies that abhor doping in all forms, that abhor cheating in all forms, and support international bodies that will enhance fair play in all forms.
And then the other one has to do with corruption. There's widespread belief in the thoughts of most labyrinth minds that the Ministry of Youth and Sports, following the organization of, for example, the National County Sports Meet, there's lots of corruption that go over there. The ministry hasn't been audited over the past time. For all the county meet they've hosted, people are concerned where this money go. Why we don't see infrastructures being developed in various counties? Take, for example, Councillor Bangor is minister for the next 6 years, and he's going to oversee the county meet for the next 6 years. And we wholly expect at the end of every year, proceeds from gates intake and so forth, we could take 1 year of that and invest it in another county. For example, we can build sporting infrastructure, which you earlier talked about. So by the time Councillor Cole Bangalu has overseen his 6 years into office, and take, for example, I mean, his Unity Party leaves office and he doesn't come back, I'm not saying that might be the case, but if it is, at least we have had 6 infrastructures built in 6 different counties from the construction or from the overseeing of the National County Sports Meet. What is going to be done if there is somebody caught in the act of corruption, are you going to allow your ministry to be audited by certified auditors so as to promote fairness in the same sports we're talking about as well?
Ben, I've been in government for some number of years prior to the last 6 years when we had a break. There are transparency institutions that are established by law that must do their work. There are transparency institutions established by law that must do their work. The General Auditing Commission, the Internal Audit Agency, the PPCC, and a good number of other institutions were established to ensure that the right thing is done. Currently, the internal auditors at the ministry are conducting an entry audit for us. We cannot just walk into the gallows. So they've completed the fixed asset audit. They've completed the human resource audit. It is currently on our decks. We are reviewing it. They are on the financial audit now. We will firstly need to know what is it that happened and what is it that we inherited. And then we will know what we are running into. The next thing is, I am of the belief, based on conversations we've had, that there were a number of leakages when it comes to managing and administering, for example, the National Counting Meeting. The leakages stem from Ben Gappa and all the media people saying they want free access to attend the counting meeting. All of the lawmakers saying they want free access to attend the counting meeting. All of the cabinet ministers, deputy assistant ministers say they want free access to all the games at the counting meeting. All of the chiefs, the elders, the zones, they say they want free access to the counting meeting. In my mind, those are serious leakages that we must look at. If all those people should pay the crowd you're looking at, then you will see the kind of money. But I think there have been leakages and abuses. Number two, people have been allowed to also use their discretion. And sometimes when you're using discretion, the discretion could be abused in terms of what happens. Thirdly, sponsorship. We need to encourage sponsors, and if sponsors remit their contributions, it must be accounted for. Okay. At the end of the day, when all of these leakages are closed, trust me, I believe we can realize something. And when we realize something, we can inform the government through the Ministry of Finance and the government planning that we have a plan for the money that was realized. We want to build a gymnasium in Fishtown so that, like you rightly said, Ben, at the end of the exercise, you can point to 2024, we constructed a basketball gymnasium in Fishtown. For me, I don't believe from the 1950s or 60s, since counting meet started, there have been improvement in what the counting meet is. I don't believe. Number two, I strongly believe that the counting meet can be improved if we provide the right guidance. If we provide the right guidance. And part of that guidance is to ensure that when we go to Plibo and Maryland is hosting, we say Maryland you're hosting. For example, we just say Maryland you're hosting or Grand Cape Man you're hosting. Without giving them any support, you just say you're hosting. So they go, they only fee the guy there that the rubber sport has school fee. Then they go and they brush around it. Then they put fence, some kind of palm touch around it. Then you go there and they host. You play the games there. At the end of the day, you leave them there, and you leave that fee in the same condition. So what is it that rubber sport or Bright Cape Mount benefited? They benefited nothing. So in my mind, when we say you're hosting, one of the two, either we work with you to improve your facility to some appreciable standard, or when we leave, we send something there to bring it up to that standard. So yes, I agree with you that we need to think now about development after the county meet, and not just the normal thing. County meet was hosted, and at the end of the day, we wait again. The next county meet, we go and host it. No. I strongly believe we need to improve on that. And
Okay, Minister, in another way, let me ask you this question. There have been a cry from other Liberians that you, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, request financial report for counties who they give allocation for and to for the county meet. The ministry over the past 5 years have not made financial report to the public about money they receive from partners, sponsor the government, what they generated from the county meet. On your watch, are you willing to, at the end of every county meet, make that financial report to show transparency?
Not just county meet. We will provide reports on every activity. You know, at the ministry, there's also the Department of Youth Development. Are you aware? We also have the Department of Technical Vocational Education and Training. Are you aware?
I cover that ministry extensively, and I'm aware of all those.
So, I mean, let me just say to you that under our watch, we will ensure that reports are provided. They are provided. If the public wants the report, they should know it. If sponsors come in and provide money, they should get the breakdown on how the money was spent. Should. I believe the public needs to know. So yes, I would not speak to the past, but at least moving forward, we will do everything possible to ensure that reports are provided. So the counties are giving money for, to assist them with their preparation. So yes, when the money is given, the government money. So the government said they should just provide a report so that it can serve as a prerequisite for replenishment for the next edition. So yes, they should do that. But equally so, as a ministry, we will be willing. But part of why the ministry's report easy is for everyone that receives money to provide their report. If the media people, if you receive money too, for anything, you will have to provide a report.
Okay, Minister, we have to let you go. We're running out of time. I have to have this concern. It's an opportunity to use one shot to kill two birds. Amongst my mother's children, I love myself the best. I know government is continuated, but with the ushering of this government, there's been changing personnel at the level of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. I know that Intel Sports were the official partner, broadcasting partner with the ministry. I represent the interests of Intel Sports, so I know you will say there is some level of conflict of interest and stuff like that. But there is a point. Who does the ministry tend to keep as an official broadcasting partner?
I mean, you want to promote your good kind of talk. Yes, okay. This thing around the bush right here. Come on. Yeah, bring a proposal.
Okay.
Then, based on the submission, then we know exactly who that official person will be. So please, if you have a proposal, you have a very good platform. I can say that for sure.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for the compliment.
But by you, maybe there will be other platforms that will be better. I'm not very on the platform yet.
We are prepared to compete
Baku?
We have done it before. We have done it before. Yes, I want to ask the last question, another question. Mr. Minister, do you support the idea that this county meet, we should make it like the World Cup of African Cup of Nations? Like Ben was saying, we want to have infrastructure in other counties at the end of every county meet. Do you support, or will you support the issue of us having a county meet like the African Cup of Nations, where people bid and we have all of the counties going to a particular county or joint hosting? At the end of the day, if we never had a basketball court in Ravensport, once this county is hosting or co-hosting, we will have it there. Do you think that's a good idea to make the county meet like the Olympic or the Nations Cup?
100% I support that. It will enhance transparency, and at least there will be. The only thing is that I'm sure they wanted all of the countries to at least benefit from hosting, and so perhaps that's the reason they were rotating and going all around. But if you do it in a competitive manner, like you are saying, I believe it will be good. So yes, I support competition, so that in fact it will attract a lot, because the winner of the bid will have a lot on their head to ensure that it is the best. And we're going to set a criteria that you have to follow. And if you meet the criteria, then of course you will qualify to participate in the bid. Because if, for example, part of it is at least you need to have 5 hotels in the county, I believe the county will have a responsibility, and citizens from that county will also ensure that investment will be taken there, because you don't want 2 or 3 counties that have such capacity now to be the only benefactors. Yes, I agree with that. I think it can enhance development. I know over the past, during the past administration of Madam Sirleaf, for example, they used to rotate the Independence Day celebration. And every time the independence is going to a particular county, we will go there and see some massive improvement in terms of development. So yes, I agree with you. We should do that.
Minister, I want to say thanks ever so much for coming out, even though we've been trying to get you over the past 10, 14 days or so, but finally we've got you. We've talked about a lot of things. We talked about the ministry plans over the next few months. We talk about how this government intends to improve sports. We talk about grassroots. We talk about increased support to female athletes. We also talk about infrastructural developments across the country. We talk about a fair play and integrity. So I'm pretty sure we talk about a lot, but do you want to close up and inject anywhere we didn't talk, any topic we didn't talk about before we can let you go? Are you there? Minister, are you there? I'm not getting the signal from the minister, even though I'm seeing live picture of him on the screen. Hello? Do I have to repeat? Yeah, I said we've talked about a lot. We talked about infrastructure, grassroots, female participation as athletes. We also talked about the county meet. Do you want to close up? Probably we didn't discuss anything you want to inject before you go.
Mr. Minister.
I think the line is cracking, it's coming and going. But it's been a wonderful conversation with Councillor Kojara Bangalu. Thanks ever so much for coming on with us after we tried a plethora of time to get you and we couldn't. But tonight we got you. Let's say thanks to our production team. Let's say thanks to Mark. He's done a fantastic job. Rufus, Mo, Tio, we are player. They all have make this edition a success. My name is Ben. I'm still here sitting alongside Chris. Do you have anything lastly to say?
I think the minister, it was a very great presentation by the minister. People will be probably happy. There are people, like he spoke about the issue of report of the county meet. I think this is something people hear, the likes of Webster Cassay has always been saying. The Ministry of Youth and Sports should make a report at the end of every county meeting. And I think I myself, I support it. Like he talked about the issue of co-hosting, of giving the hosting right to a county. You spoke about what difference the ministry want to bring to the county meet. To say at the end of the county meet is county S. Once the county meet, we go and develop a stadium or a basketball court body. So in 6 years, we have had at least 6 different infrastructure. Like he spoke about the national teams, and I think the discussion was fruitful, and we are hoping for more of this discussion with sporting federation and those in the sporting federation and sporting world stakeholders to come up and let's hear what we have to offer when it comes to the development of sports in this country.
Thank you, Chris. Clarence Lee, Chair of the Liberia Football Association, Beach Soccer Coordinator, has taken us to court here on Sports Talk. He said we fail to talk about the beach soccer. I know there's a tournament coming up. It's not the second time they've staged or have a league. Jerry Yeke is former FIFA referee. He's currently living in the United States of America, having retired as a FIFA referee. He said he had a question, but now the minister is gone. He said, can a football portion of the county meet be turned over to the LFA to manage so that the LFA can report to you instead of you reporting to yourself? It's laughable, but that's a concern of Jerry Yeke. That's how time we have to be with you. We're going to be here on Friday for the weekend edition of Sports Talk. I'm going to be here. I predicted the show. Trojan is really going to be sitting there. But until then, I want you to always remember it is Talk Sports or Sports Talk on Intel Sports. Good night.
Me P, producer.
The star is for Republic, WC is for black people. We know Liberia is our home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11 nations of people, we are known as First Republic. The Lone Star shining evermore. Themselves and seek my face. I will rise and heal their nation. Liberia will rise again. Nations will come to your rising. I prophesy. Kingdom will come to your life. Together, let's keep your peace. Cause in unity we will build our nation. Arise, Liberia, arise. Arise and take your place. Whatever the locals are meeting, arise and take your place. The flag of Liberia is flying on. Showing allegiance, showing loyalty to this nation. Liberia, in union, success is sure. Showing loyalty to this nation. Liberia, in unity, in union, success is sure. In unity, we will build our nation. In unity, Liberia, we prophesy long life. We prophesy prosperity. We prophesy peace in this nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Liberia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.